how to talk about it. Then Jen is going to talk about what's important, where to focus, and kind of wrap everything up, talk about trials and samples. And then I am going to talk about mindset, morale, and the wave, which is something I'll explain kind of at the end. It doesn't make sense right now, but that's fine. So I am going to start, you guys. Grab a notebook. If you need me to, well, one of you girls actually type out maybe the topic that you each have in the chat so they can write it out. And then mine too. I don't want to try to type right now. But I wanted to start out because since I'm talking about mindset, that is the foundation of everything that you guys are going to learn today. So you're going to be learning a lot of tangible tips, a lot of things of like where you should be focusing, what you should be implementing, and none of it is going to stick or be able to be absorbed if your head isn't in the right space. And so you really need your mindset to be in the right spot today. So that's where I'm kind of starting this morning there. So I forgot about my pun, Jackie. Sorry. Okay, this is the foundation of the gingerbread house that we are building. Okay. All right. So ask yourself a couple questions this morning, you guys, and answer honestly. A lot of mindset work has to do with self-assessment and just being really honest with yourself. So don't answer with the answer that you would like it to be, just be really honest. So do you consider a day good or bad based on how many things that you marked off your to-do list? Do you consider a day good or bad based on like how capable, do you base like how capable you think you are at doing this business, at being successful based on like if you had an off day? Are you really hard on yourself if you have an off day? Do you measure your successfulness based on your enrollments? These are all huge questions that you should be answering right now, because I used to be all three. Like I used to be so hard on myself when I first started my business, especially when it came to enrollments. I would tell myself, I made up these fake rules and these fake like standards for myself that if I didn't hit them every day, I thought, well, I'm just not good at this, or, oh, I'm not going to be successful, or all that negative self-talk would kind of come into play, right? And so, yes, I would absolutely consider a day good or bad based on how many things I marked off my to-do list. If I had 10 things on there and I did 9, I would pay so much more attention to that one thing that I didn't get done than the 9 that I did, right? You know, and yes, I would absolutely base my successfulness off of my enrollments. I came up with this fake rule for myself at the very beginning where I convinced myself that if I didn't change a life a day, I wasn't working my business. And that is not true at all. You have to give yourself grace. And if that's something that is in the back of your head where you're considering, or you're convincing yourself that you're not working your business that day, if you aren't changing a life, getting someone's order in, getting a new business partner in the system, then you're just really selling yourself short, because you're obviously working your business in other ways. We'll go into that. And yes, I absolutely like questioned how capable I was of being good at this if I had like an off day where like maybe my motivation wasn't there. That's a whole other thing, you know. You're not going to be motivated every single day. You're not going to wake up every day super excited, super ready to go. Sure, you will some days, but not all of them. And if you're only excited to work your business and show up on the days that you are motivated, the other half or so is not going to be fun for you, right? So that's where self-discipline comes into play. You have to be disciplined enough to know why you're doing this and to continue doing it every single day because of that why, regardless of if you're motivated to show up that day or not, right? And that's what we teach our team all the time, is just like self-discipline and consistency are key when it comes to success in this industry. So I used to be all three of those things until I became way more stressed by myself than impressed by myself. And that was just the honest truth. I had to come to terms with the fact that I was running myself into the ground. I was working myself too hard to the point where, you know, burnout could happen, or I could just get down on myself and think, you know, this could be easier if I was just nicer to myself. And so I had to give myself grace. And I also had to realize that we're our own biggest critic. I guarantee that every single one of you is harder on yourself than somebody else is on you, right? So realize that you are your own biggest critic, and also realize that you got to give yourself some grace, and especially during the holiday season. Because if you're still convincing yourself of those 3 questions that we asked ourselves at the beginning, and you're saying, yes, I base my successfulness off of my enrollments. And if I'm not changing lives as often as I was in January of last year, then I'm not good. I'm not good enough. That's a lie. It is not possible to have the same amount of enrollments all year round. Things change, people change, what people are doing daily changes. So all of that plays a factor into this. And I will explain that when I explain the wave at the end before I pass it to Katie. But focus on what we are in control of, you guys. Like, we are in control of so many things, so many factors. And I can name 3 that are super, super critical right now. Your resilience, your persistence, and your commitments. Okay. I used to have a really bad habit of overcommitting myself. I would say yes to everything because I felt like if I said no to something, I wasn't doing enough, right? I had to stop doing that. I had to commit to what was important and what was going to move the needle in my business and in my mindset, right? I had to make self-development a priority every single day. Persistence, especially during this time of year, this is very important. And that goes in with consistency. You know, your persistence is what is going to continue to drive you forward, even on those days when maybe you're not motivated. That's when persistence and self-discipline and consistency come into play. And then lastly, your resilience. You're going to have negative Nancy's. Okay. You are. It might be your spouse, you know, it could be whoever. It could be your boss at your 9 to 5 right now. You're going to have times when you have to be resilient when it comes to why you are doing this. Ask yourself right now why you're doing this. Even drop it in the chat. I think that would be fun if you guys all dropped your why in the chat and go deep. You know, don't just say my kids, say so that I can be home with my kids more. You know, get very specific on it. And the more that you know your why and why you're doing this, and maybe plaster it on your wall on a dream board if you don't have one already. But remember every single day that that is why you're here. That is why you're showing up. That is why even on the days that maybe you don't feel like it, you're still going to do it because it's not about you. It's about your why. It's about your kids. It's about your future, right? It's about your team. Okay. So I want to talk about lack a little bit. So here's like a scenario. Imagine that I love seeing all these whys pop up. I'm just like, want to go back and read them all. So imagine that you go to work one day and your boss pulls you in and your boss is like, you know, Ryan, you could really step it up. You've been slacking in this area. I'm going to have to write you up. And you're like bummed about it. But then as the day goes on, your husband surprises you with flowers. And then your coworker buys you lunch and surprises you with that. And then you get off an hour early. Like, heck yeah, right? You get a choice at the end of that day. Are you going to deem that day as bad because you got in trouble with your boss? Or are you going to let the good override the bad? Because a lot more good happened than bad, right? So every single day you get a choice of if you're going to decide if it's good or bad, if this is a slower season or not, if this is a season to get more creative, right? So it's training our brain. What you dwell on sticks, and it's what you're going to notice more of. So remember that, you guys. What you dwell on sticks, and it's what you're going to notice more of. So if you're convincing yourself that that interaction with your boss was just horrible, then that's what you're going to dwell on. And that's what your whole day is going to become about. And that's what happens with every single aspect of our lives. If we're convincing ourselves, well, I haven't changed a life in a couple days, that's all you're going to notice. You're not going to notice all the interaction on your posts. You're not going to notice how well your team is doing. You're not going to notice how excited your new promoter is, right? You're going to be so focused on the lack that you don't even notice the good. So focus on abundance. It is crucial. Do not convince yourself that lack is normal. You have to focus on abundance, abundance, abundance. And even when outside of this business, like focusing on that, and it'll change completely who you are as a person. It'll completely change you. I'm honestly not the same person I was before I joined LaBelle whatsoever. Like, I don't even recognize that girl anymore. And honestly, I'm so glad that I've grown as much as I have because of this business. So you'll always have hard days, bad months, slow seasons, whatever you want to call it. But you're also always going to have great months, incredible growth, and seasons that just blow your mind, right? So your life is a reflection of the things that you tell yourself. Write that down, you guys. Your life is a reflection of the things that you tell yourself. If you're saying things like, well, my enrollments are down, what you need to be saying is, what could I be doing better? If you're saying, oh, my team isn't working, what you should be saying is, who can I remind of their why? You know, if you're saying, oh, it's just a slow season, what you should be saying is, this is a season to get more creative. How can I spruce things up? How can I change things up? Do I need to go live more? Do I need to get more trials out? Do I need to talk to my team more? Do I need to do more incentives? Do I need to go live on Facebook in an ugly Christmas llama sweater? Okay. Like, what do you need to do to get more creative, to get more eyes on you, and to get people excited again? I don't know about you guys, but for me, I am really in tune with the energy of my team. So I can tell if like things are popping, if morale is up, if enrollments are up, like if people are excited. But I can also tell when morale is down, things have slowed, people are discouraged. And honestly, like right now, in the months that, you know, we're doing this whole training because of these 3 months right here, which are technically the harder months of the year. But for my team, I feel like we're kind of Switzerland. Like we're not having a hard month, but we're not having a great month, right? It's very just in the middle and balanced. And I honestly think that that's because my team knows about the wave. Okay. So the wave, you guys, this is going to be a game changer. Like once you have this mental picture in your head, you're going to be like, oh, and it's all going to make sense. So here for just like a social media kind of example. So you get like, picture a wave in the ocean. Okay. You get like a wave going, you get a new follower, they're watching you, they're seeing you post about your nutritional system, your business opportunity. They start getting curious. You guys start talking. You're commenting on each other's stuff, whatnot. This is the wave going up. And then maybe you start having a conversation and they enroll or they order. And then the wave breaks and it goes back down and it restarts. Okay. So that is completely normal. And there's a lot of waves in the ocean. This isn't going to happen in a day, usually. You know, this wave could be a month-long process, could be a year-long process. It could be however long, right? There's no time frame on how long this wave has to build before it breaks. And that's why there's so many different waves in the ocean. And there's so many different timelines going on with the people that are watching you. With the people that are watching you change your life and change your business and your team grow and all the things. So maybe there will be a day that no waves break. That's fine because there's so many still building, right? That's what you have to focus on. So you also can't expect every single day to be the same. Like it is impossible for you to finish a month at the same numbers every single month. You're not going to finish a month every single time at the same number. And I guarantee you actually can't do it. Right. And so know that it's normal for things to go up and down and things to fluctuate, for there to be highs and lows. Okay. The biggest thing to remember is that the bottom of the wave is not a rut. It's not a slow season. It's not a lull. It's not you. Okay. It's the process. It's just normal. It's absolutely necessary in this business. And it's necessary for us to know it and understand it, because if we don't understand that this is the normal process of everything, then how are we supposed to teach our team that it's normal and coach our team through it? When our team comes to us and they say, things have really slowed down for me. What am I doing wrong? If you can teach them that they're just going through the wave and they're on the build up, like they're going to be so excited because they know that they're planting those seeds. Things are going and going and going, and they're going to get that enrollment and they're going to change that life. So that's where we have to focus. Okay. So lastly, the bottom of the wave is when most people get discouraged. You could deem these 3 months as the bottom of the wave if you want to, but just know that you guys are all on the come up. Katie, I'm going to give it to you. Katie's going to teach us about prepping for January and momentum.
Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Happy Saturday. This is crazy. This is so exciting. Okay. So how do we slay the winter months to create momentum? I would be lying if I didn't grab that from Jackie and all of her holiday puns. But if we're being completely honest, this can be your make or your break season, right? And that choice is up to you. Just like Ryan said, your life is through what you think and what you tell yourself, and that's a reflection of the way you're living your life. So how are you going to live throughout your business these next 3 months, right? So what do I mean by that? I'm going to bring it back to this time last year. I actually enrolled on November 1st, 2019, which may seem like the craziest time to start for most people. We're going into the holidays. It's the end of the year. A lot of people deem it as the slow season. Why wouldn't you start in January or in the spring or the summer when business is popping, right? Think about when you started. And this is where I'm going to think about why I started at the time I started. And I would be lying if I didn't say I was desperate for change at the craziest time of year. I was desperate for something to change from a physical aspect, from a financial aspect. And I can't stand myself sometimes, y'all. Just roll with it, right? So from a physical aspect, a financial aspect, from so many aspects of life. Think about why you started and when you started the time you did. Because I will say when we started November 1st, 2019, I was starting completely over again. I had been with this industry for 3.5 years prior. I had been with 2 previous companies, and here we were starting over in the holiday season, right? Completely switching gears. So with that being said, this point in time of your business is what is going to ramp you up for January. Are you going to close shop, or are you going to leave your doors open? Right? We can't expect people to come around in January when a lot of people mark January 1st as their time to change. And this is when they implement all of these different things in their life. But if we don't keep our doors open, they don't know to come to us, right? So with that being said, we had gone from November 1st, 2019, we ramped up to 4K within 22 days. Come January, we took off and went 12K. In March, went 40K. In May, went 80K. All because we created that momentum starting in November, leading through the December month, and then into January, and then kept on going. But that's where it started, right? So I want you to recognize what season are you in within your business. So there's 4 seasons within your business, right? And these are 4 things you can write down: growth, engagement, leads, sales. All right. Recognize what area of your business are you in. Are you just starting? Have you been doing this for a few months? Have you been in for a year? Have you been in for a few years? Where do you stand right now? So I'm going to go into a little bit of depth for each one as to what each season of business contains. And for some people, this is going to look a little bit differently. And also know that all 4 of these seasons do mesh in some way, shape, or form. We are within the industry of network marketing. Of course, we're looking to grow, engage leads, and have sales and grow our business and change so many different people's lives, right? So when it comes to growth, especially within this time of year, this is where networking with new people, building new relationships, growing your network, right? A lot of people, social media is a very powerful tool, and this is where you want to make sure that you are growing your network always. Are you in the beginning stages where you're looking at social media or your friends list and Are you looking to see that you want to be growing with more like-minded people like yourself to open up that opportunity to change their life just like yours was changed? Then we lead into engagement. All of these, we're doing the wave now because Ryan was doing the wave, but all of these do blend into one another, and it is common for them to overlap as well. So growth and engagement kind of go hand in hand. So what does engagement mean? This means reintroducing yourself, introducing yourself to your audience. When I say audience, I mean social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform you are using. Let people know who you are, interact with them. It's the holiday season. Look and see what they're doing for the holidays. You can make some interactive posts out of it, some Q&A sessions, opportunity lives, going live just to have fun and interact with your audience. And this is something you can just do during the holidays. This creates interaction. It lets people in on your life, what you do for the holidays. You're figuring out what they do for the holidays. What are they getting ready for come the new year? Really get to know your audience, because we don't want to look at somebody just as a sale, right? And we want to create that relationship. And it doesn't mean that you're going to, that wave is going to crash as soon as you start talking. But building that momentum and creating that bond and that relationship is key. That is your first step. And then after we've created that relationship, you're talking with one another, you're giving different options, you're letting each other know about each other's life, and you're really getting to get to know your audience. Then that's where leads come into play. And then we start closing on sales, where it comes to changing someone's life with the 3 steps, showing them the opportunity with the business. But once again, none of this happens if you close shop. If you say, I'm busy for the holidays, and I will be honest, everybody and anybody here on this Zoom is busy during the holidays. But what is your why in order for you to show up even during the busiest time of the year? Maybe this is the busiest time of year for you. Keep your why on the forefront. That will either be your reason why you show up, or it'll be the excuse as to why we don't. But we want to make sure we're keeping our doors open at all times. That is showing up every single day, just like when Ryan said, you don't want to. Or maybe the motivation isn't there that day. Or maybe things are busy. Prep yourself. Prep yourself for the holiday season before it gets too busy. And next thing you know, it's January 1. And you're wondering where time went, right? So let's talk about discipline, your why, who you have control over. At the end of the day, the only person, when it comes to momentum, the only person you have control over is yourself. So I want you to take a look and think about this does not matter number-wise, whether you have one person with you on your team or if you have 20,000 people on your team. You are a leader in some way, shape, or form, or you are leading yourself as of this moment, right? We all were leading ourselves on day 1 when it was us and the team in which we had decided to join at that point, right? So always remember, you determine whether you show up or not, but then you also lead by example and you set the tone for your team. If we don't show up, can we expect our team to show up? Can we inspire someone else to show up even when it's hard if we don't do it ourselves? So keep that in mind. We're not only showing up for ourselves. We don't only show up on social media just to put our own post out, just to like our own post, right? Our sole purpose here is to change someone else's life. So if that doesn't create some sort of discipline for you and really drive your why into the ground to change someone else's life, just like these products in this business changed yours, write it down every single day. Even if it's writing it down on a piece of paper. Why did you start? Who are you showing up for? Yes, your why is some way related to yourself, but we do not make an income without making an impact first, right? Who are you trying to impact? Especially during a hard season for other people. Know that whatever boat that you were sitting in as to why you started, someone else is sitting in that same boat right now. I know at this point last year, I was struggling come the holiday season. I was looking for another financial aspect. I was looking for that other piece to even make Christmas possible. So if that is any way, shape, or form similar to what you experienced when you started or what you're experiencing right now, someone else is experiencing that as well. So lead by example. This is where growth will come into play. It's not going to happen overnight, but you need to create it, and it needs to start somewhere. Stay close to the fire because, baby, it's cold outside. I'm so proud of that one. I'm so proud. Now I'm sweating. All right. See, it's the little things that get me all happy and excited. So how do you stay close to the fire, and why is it so important to do that during this holiday season? I'm going to give you a few different tips, things that we do within our organization, how we keep everybody close-knit, incorporated into everything, and making sure no one feels left out, because that is super, super, super important. So first thing, meetings and trainings. So our specific organization, we have 12 optional meetings a week. And that may seem like a lot, but there's a lot of people, and that leads for a lot of opportunity. It leads for a lot of accountability, right? Maybe you're looking for that accountability partner. Now, somebody can't call you up and say, hey, Kate, get out of bed, let's go, let's get to work. But we can get on a meeting and we can hold each other accountable for showing up and working through our income producing activities. We have 10 meetings a week where we purely work through our income producing activities twice a day. We have 2 meetings that are more based around mindset. And the biggest thing too, when it comes to this, is remaining coachable. Remain coachable through this whole season. If something isn't working for you, look to someone else who has experienced this season before. Look for tips and tricks, and what can you tweak? What can you focus on, right? So meetings and trainings, keep your team close knit. Keep them together, because, and this is going to lead me into, you don't have a group chat for your team already, create one. It's very different when let's say you're texting everybody all of the time, and 9 times out of 10, the same information that you're blasting in a text could be very easily done in a group chat, saves you time, keeps everybody together, shows everybody who is in that community so they feel a part of. So if you do not have one already, I encourage that you create one. Do it this weekend. Get everybody together. Maybe your team doesn't know who is all on your team, right? We just formed one big group chat for our organization, and it shows everybody that is working together. They are not alone. And so that's going to lead me into the next piece. What do we do in these What do we do in these group chats? What is the purpose of them? So this is a place, like I said, it keeps everybody close. We're reminding each other of the meetings. Hey, it's this time to, this meeting's opening up, if you're able to jump on. And then we're saying, okay, who was on? We're recognizing each other for it. And then we also have boom challenges, right? And these boom challenges, the ones that we have created within our organization, are to work all aspects of your business, because just like Ryan was saying, just because you didn't get an enrollment that day does not mean you didn't work your business. Recognize the other aspects of your business that you have been working, whether that is growing your network on social media, creating new relationships with new people, posting on your social media, talking in your stories, making, having a 3-day happy pack in your stories, growing your, like, all these different things, whatever your income producing activities are, recognize those, right? And that is something that we incorporate into our boom challenges. And what they are, for example, with ours, we have, and everybody does it differently, but it's calling off booms. Like, hey, boom, I just sent a happy pack to Sally. Boom, I just sent a happy pack to Susan. Boom, like something like that. Hey, I hopped on the meeting this morning, right? Accountability, knowing that there is someone else within your team working your business, and you're not alone. There's other people out there doing stuff too, but it's very easy to feel alone, right? Especially if you don't stay close to the fire. So stick with your team, be incorporated, bring everybody together, be present, and stay close, because these next 2 months are going to fly fast. And next thing you know, you look around and you're like, hey, it's 2021. Where is everyone, right? So don't allow for that to happen. Stay close with your team, and take this time during the holiday season to nourish your team, nourish your customers, nourish your business. And keep this in mind too, a boom challenge, all of this fun stuff, that I was taught very early on, that will not create momentum. It is more so to reward the momentum, but put it in your group. put it in there to say, hey, these are different things that we can be working. Do not disclude that from you working your business today, and make sure you give yourself enough credit for doing so. So like I said before, how do we nourish, especially the people that have invested in this business with us, that have invested as a customer and put their trust in us already? How do we nourish our business, our customers, our team, and the growth that is soon to come? This is the time of year, and I'm going to pass it off to Jackie, where she is going to walk through and talk all things how to navigate your business through the holiday, which then creates that momentum until we go off into the new year. So on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Jackie.
Hey everybody, my name is Jackie and I am coming to you with bells, whistles, and bows on from San Antonio. You guys are about to get lots of holiday puns. I think I'm rather punny, so please stick with me. I'm pretty high energy, just like these other ladies, and not gonna lie, I kind of forced them into doing puns. So, but it is my job today to teach you how to put some jingle in your pocket and actually give you some tangible marketing strategies amid the holiday season. So let's get real here. We've already talked about this. This season is a busy one. We are out decking the halls, indulging in all of the pie. We're out and about buying gifts. We're spending money. We're running in turkey trots. Honestly, this season is absolutely nonstop. But as a result, we want to make sure that we keep that momentum, right? Oftentimes we have teammates, we have business partners, promoters that set their business on cruise control because of Thanksgiving and then into the Christmas season. Y'all, it is our time to make sure that we don't get lazy. So I'm here to urge you guys to have a festive, fun holiday season, but you've got to stay focused. Don't get in a slump, and definitely don't take your foot off the gas. Use these extra kid activities and get-togethers to network. Use them to reconnect with old friends and make lots of new ones. Use gift exchanges to share our products. Get them in the hands of family members, friends, coworkers. Use holiday parties as an opportunity to actually share your story. Casually tell people what you've been up to. Create even more contacts, and give people a reason for the season, or in this case, a reason to actually start on the products and start a business instead of waiting until the new year to do so. So I'm here to talk to you guys about holiday health and wealth, because as we've said, we want to finish off the next 2 months and really get some momentum underneath us. So we've got these amazing things to offer. We seriously are the solution for our friends and family's resolutions. So let's jump in and talk about this season, all right? So 'tis the season of thanks, 'tis the season of giving, but 'tis the season of lots of excuses and lots of objections. Like, let's be real. It's the most wonderful time of year, but it's also full of classic excuses. I mean, November, we're in the month of no right now. It literally has no in its name, November. People are going to tell you no. They're going to give you excuses like, I have no time to start this business. I have no money to start on the products. I'm way too busy. I have too much going on and I can't even fathom adding another thing to my plate. Y'all, this month, the month of November, is the time where we no longer take no for an answer, okay? We have such a gift in this business and these products. And I'm here to give you a few simple tips to overcome these objections and market this business as the gift it is, because this truly could be someone's miracle on 34th Street. During this season, we want to make sure that as we're talking to people, that we are empathizing with them. We all understand it's a busy season. We all understand the budget cuts that we all need to do. And we want to empathize with our friends and family. But I want to urge you guys that when somebody gives you an objection, that doesn't mean that the conversation is over, all right? It is our job to explain to them why they need this business and why they need the products, okay? So we want to make sure that we remember that we're the experts here and that our friends and family trust us. They value our expertise. And oftentimes an objection is just a reason that they don't understand. We're not going to steer them in the wrong direction. Like, we know what's all inside of this business and we know what the products can give to them. So what I'm telling you is, when somebody gives you that objection, don't let them off the hook so easily. Now, don't be salesy in your approach when you come back. Don't come out of a place of desperation. Instead, be confident and just give them a little bit more information. Like I had mentioned, objections are a cue that people just need a little bit more info to understand the value we have to offer. It is our job to share the substitution. And I'll get into this a little bit later, but we want to remind folks what these products in this business actually act as, like a substitution for things that they consume in their everyday life. So, okay, let's go back to kind of excuses and objection. In all honesty, at this point in my business, you guys, when I hear an objection, I literally just want to be like, la, 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 la. Like, I don't want to hear it. Instead, I'm a little kinder than that. And I actually apply a method called the Feel, Felt, Found. Now, if you've been in this industry for a while, I'm sure you've already probably heard this. Question is, do you apply it? Because I feel like this is gold. So Feel, Felt, Found. Feel, we're going to acknowledge their feelings. Felt, we're going to relate to this person. We're going to ease their concerns. And then found, we're going to share our honest and informed opinion, like what we have found. So for example, say Jennifer's like, Jackie, I just can't even fathom doing this. I'm way too busy. I have 5 kids. We have Christmas programs. I work a full-time job. There's no way. My response to Jennifer would be using the Feel, Felt, Found method. I literally say the words in my response, feel, felt, and found. I say, oh, Jennifer, I feel you on that one. I was busy too. I had a full-time job. I felt like I couldn't find any time to do this. But when I actually joined, I found that it's really easy to work this in the nooks and crannies between kids' music programs or on my lunch hour. So here's the thing. Everybody gets scared by objections because we think that there's hundreds of them out there. Now, don't get your tinsel in a tangle just yet. The good news is that there's only a few, and once we master these objections, they actually become more conversation starters than conversation closers. So it's our job to prospect in a way that this objection actually becomes an excuse to start the business rather than a reason not to do the business. So let's dive in and let's talk about a few of these objections, because we're going to leave excuses for Santa to take on up the chimney on his way out. And we're going to talk about them from both a business perspective and from like a customer prospect or product perspective as well. So excuse number 1, you've got the penny pinchers. You've got the Scrooges, we'll call them. Okay, that seems a little harsh, to be honest, but these are the folks that are really worried about cost. They really want to stick to a budget. They don't want to spend money on themselves. They've got travel expenses, tons of Christmas gifts, blah, 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 right? Y'all, from a customer and product perspective, this is awesome. When I hear this, I'm like, oh, heck yes, this is my opportunity to share how our products, say the 3 steps, actually save people money. With these penny pinchers, I like to share the substitution. So I had mentioned this before. I want to talk to them about what our steps actually could replace. Let's start with like their daily or morning routine. So we know that our products can replace the need for coffee, cha-ching, back in our pocket. We're not spending breakfast money at the coffee shop anymore. We're not going to, brunch every day so that we fill our nutritional gaps. We're not eating mid-morning snacks and then there's supplements. Y'all, our products, just the 3 steps alone, cost about $5 a day. I'll be honest with y'all. I was spending a whole heck of a lot more going to a coffee shop and getting coffee and a piece of banana bread. And honestly, I was crashing. So I was going to get another cup of coffee. I was spending $8 to $12 a day on stuff. These steps have been a huge game changer for not only my energy level, but also my pocketbook. Do people even say pocketbook anymore? Checkbook, account. You guys, to share the substitution, share on your story, go live, talk about the things that these steps replace, and keep doing it every single week so that you're touching lots and lots of people. From a business perspective, it is not time to be the Grinch and keep this opportunity to yourself. It's time to share all about it. It is our job to remind people that they can earn another 7 paychecks between right now and Christmas. I'm going to say that that's going to be a great help for gifts and travel expenses and all of the little things that their kids need, and ugly sweater expenses too, right? We also want to remember that when we're talking about the business, bring up the VIP bonuses. Holy cow, you guys, our prospects have the opportunity to earn $800 on their next paycheck and $200 in free product credit. Hitting those VIP bonuses is a clause for celebration, if you ask me. You guys just think about how many gifts could be purchased with $800. And not only that, how much somebody could give back to their community with that type of jingle in their pocket. When presenting the business, I always like to ask people, what could these bonuses really help you with? Could they help you have a debt-free holiday? That'd be amazing, right? Okay, let's shift gears and let's talk about the next group of people, the busy bees, or during this season, the little worker elves, I guess you could say. These are the folks that have no time and say that they're way too busy. From a customer perspective, hello, it sounds like they actually need our steps to sustain their energy, to make sure that they can go to all the things during the season. I like actually introducing Sculpt or Expand too, because let's be honest, our brains are crazy and these products help us stay mentally focused and powering through these tiring times. So it's always a great time too to suggestively sell and add on things that people can actually use. The other thing is our steps are so simple and so easy to do. I worked full time when I built this business. I always felt like I didn't have time to do these steps. Like I had all the excuses in the book. Let's just say that. Y'all, we know that it literally takes 5 minutes and you're out the door and you're feeling good all day long. So share that. From a business perspective, I kind of touched on this already. We can work this business in the nooks and crannies. So while we're waiting for the Christmas program to start, we can send a quick message. We can talk to our neighbor beside us and we can talk about what we've been doing. I personally like to show how I work this between the hustle and bustle by taking a quick Elfie. Yes, I said Elfie, not selfie. You guys add this to your story and show your network just how easy and simple it is, that you're simply sharing something that you absolutely love. Okay, so let's shift gears and let's talk about weight marketing. Now, a lot of you are probably like, weight marketing? I've never heard of weight marketing. Everybody knows with the holidays, there's lots of parties and get-togethers. We've already discussed that. But there's also a lot of food. There's lots of pie, lots of sweets, lots of wine and cider and hot chocolate. And don't get me started about the carbs, because give me all the dinner rolls, give me all the mashed potatoes. Most people already associate the holidays with weight gain. So why not market and share that it's time to beat the holiday eats? This is where I like to share substitution again. But in this case, I'm going to share how I'm trading my stretchy pair of fat pants for a treat meal. And I'm going to eat all the things on Thanksgiving. Share the value in our products, what they can do, how they curb cravings, how you're not snacking on things in the break room, how you're not eating all the Christmas cookies. This is a great time to share with your customers that they can get a good jump start on their resolution. Share how people can stay ahead of the pounds, how they can stay focused on their healthy goals with all these distractions. Again, treat meal and balance are going to be really easy add-ons, especially during this time of year. From a business perspective, this is such a smart time. If people are savvy and they really want to make the most of this time, they're going to understand that resolutions are around the corner. And most resolutions revolve around two things: health and wealth. Last time I checked, our business has solutions for both of those things. So not only can folks better themselves, feel better, they can start a business and earn more money, erasing holiday debt. And again, we're solutions to these New Year's resolutions. How many folks do people know? Like, I'm literally asking my prospects this. I'm like, how many people do you know who are going to start on a resolution come January 1? Why wouldn't you get a head start and a jump start on talking to these people so that all of a sudden you've got a community who needs these products, who needs this business? Okay, shifting gears again, and I'm getting hot in this sweater. You guys, let's talk about gift giving, because let's be honest, your friends don't want that fruitcake. It is time to make your list and check it twice. Who in the world, who of your friends, family, coworkers, service providers, mailmen, Amazon deliverer, you guys, I have a real problem, who could use a fun little gift? Last I checked, we all have our own stores. Why in the world are we not buying things from it? Our charcoal masks make a great stocking stuffer. Sample packs are great gifts for teachers and coworkers as well. I like adding like the pumpkin spice or a peppermint shake. Maybe you add in cafe, a sample of that to make an amped up hot chocolate, because we have so many opportunities to share our products. And let's be honest, once people try our products, they're hooked, they're reordering, they're talking about it, they're referring people, and shoot, that could be your next teammate. So think about this. We could give the gift of clear and glowing skin with our skincare line, the gift of energy with Activate, the gift of good sleep, which we all need right now with rest. And we can give the gift of time freedom too, just by bringing up the business opportunity. So one of the last points I'm going to make is let's also remember that it is the season of giving. Why in the world would we not want to give the gift of free product to our customers? We have an absolutely incredible referral program. So we need to make sure that all of our customers know about it. Let's make sure, like, send them a text, send them an email, just a quick little, DM, explain to your customers how if they send you 2 people, you can do all the dirty work and you can stack them underneath, and all of a sudden they are earning their free product in December when it does get tight. Okay, all right, you guys. Before I get too carried away with more holiday puns, because I could literally talk forever, I think it's time I about wrap this one up. Sorry, couldn't help myself. I really, really hope that these tips help you guys all have a fun, a festive, a really profitable holiday season. Before I hit it over to Jen, just know, you guys, it is time to lace up your Santa boots, get ready to work. Y'all, it's time to slay. All right, Jen, I'm sending it over to you.
Thanks, Jackie. Oh my gosh. I want you to brace your elves. Grab a notebook because I'm coming at you with tips regarding sampling and relationship building. So I am so excited because today is my 5-month Thriversary with Lavelle, and what better way to celebrate than being on here with you guys. So first, I want to take you back to day 1 of starting my journey with a 3-day sample and balance. Yes, I was one of those day 1 thrivers where I knew on the last day of my sample, I needed more and I was going to be in for the long haul. I did not want to go without this product. I hit that promoter button on day 3 and I was ready to go all in. I felt great. I wanted everyone in the world to feel the same way I did. I had done network marketing before, but never worked from a passion like I have for the products that we have. I wasn't totally sure what I was doing, but I did know that I needed to help other people feel this great. And I just wanted to get people started the same way I did with a sample. So for me, I want to take you through my day-to-day. I know we have a lot of busy parents out here working their business. So I want to get into ways that you can work your business in pockets of time. And I know some of this was touched on, but I just want to give you kind of my day-to-day. In the beginning, it started simple. I was sharing my 3 steps. I was talking in my stories every day, as scared as I was, and as many times as I went and deleted my stories and sat getting ready to hit that live button and then backing out, I had to talk about how great I felt because I knew I could change even at least one life. So let me just remind you, my stories were not just filled with Thrive and product pictures. I talked about how I could keep up with my 3 boys, usually as I was chasing one of them around. So whether they are on the naughty or nice list, you can still build that connection and relationship with other moms and dads of young kids. I talked about losing 3 pounds my first 3 days, that my belly was way flatter and wasn't shaking like a bowl full of jelly because of balance, and how I didn't find myself mindlessly snacking thanks to our 3 simple steps. I talked about sleeping better, waking up feeling rested, and not needing coffee to get me through the day and no longer having that afternoon slump. I also covered cost breakdown because, again, like we had talked about, people are hesitant to spend money on themselves, especially this time of year. But your health is an investment. And that's where I explained that spending $20 on a sample was probably what most people were spending on coffee or fast food for the week. And when you can relate to people, that's where you start to build that solid following. The other major thing I do as a busy full-time working mom is batch my content. If you are not batching your content and your photos, you are making more work for yourselves. So for me, this means batch posting. Our team does once a week where we talk on different topics for the week and write out our inspirational, our interactive, our informative posts for the week. This is a huge game changer and time saver for sure. For me and my schedule, I need them planned out and ready to go. And don't get me wrong, if something is on my heart that day, I will most definitely speak to it in my post. But because I have that post already written, I'm still one step ahead of the game. Batching photos. I didn't understand this for a long time. And then I realized all you need is a few outfits, a tripod, maybe a ring light. I am that weirdo that will walk out in the backyard with a tripod and take multiple pictures of myself in different areas. I will also change my clothes, change my hair, and do it all over again. You don't need any crazy expensive photo equipment. You just need your phone. Grab your friend, your kid, your spouse, whoever, take some time and batch your photos. Our team is awesome with the calls that we have. We have 12 calls that you have the option of getting on. I said option because you have a choice and it's easy to choose to not get on, right? So many other things take priority, but if you're working your business, these calls need to be a priority. It's like I was just reading today in my devotional, this woman was talking about her daughter who didn't know how to pole vault. She failed, ended up in last place, but showed up every single day for practice. And by her third year, hit a record, became the school record holder. These calls, these trainings are your practice. They are your practice to build for business building strategies. You practice how to relate to customers. You learn from leaders who have been there, who have also had a day one. I get on our evening calls. I multitask. I'm making lunches for my kids for the next day or while my toddler is getting ready for bed. There's no better way to learn this business than learning from our top leaders. And again, I multitask all the time. I really never get to sit down for an uninterrupted hour for a Zoom. I know for a lot of people that is not realistic. And not usually can I do that, but you bet your life I am there listening, jotting tips down as I go, and just taking those little nuggets of information. And now one thing that I want to talk about with samples, because it's the most wonderful time of the year, and what better way to spread some cheer than to carry some sample packs with you. So grabbing those cute little mailers, Walmart, Target, all have the fun little festive mailers. Get when you're at your parties, your get-togethers, whatever, you have it on hand and you can get it into people's hands. Make up the cute bags, throw in the candy cane lifestyle mix, make it fun, make it festive, and just you have it on hand. And I didn't realize at the time, but getting our products into people's hands has set me up for success in the months and weeks ahead. So as people get samples and loved it, they later become customers. Which brings me to building relationships. So for my sample customers, I was reaching out to them on day 1, day 2, and day 3 of their samples, answering questions, troubleshooting issues, and building trust. I don't settle for someone telling me, well, it's just not for me. I seriously believe our products are for everyone. And I ask all the questions. You know, I try to troubleshoot. Are you drinking enough? Are you eating enough? Are you doing your steps in the right order? This all leads to customer retention and keeping them happy and loving their product. I would also take note of things happening in their lives. So for example, maybe their dad has surgery next week or their daughter got an award at school. I always make a point to invest in their lives and take an interest in what they're doing and not only talk product. It's hard, I get, when you're pushing for a rank advancement or some kind of incentive and it may feel like what you're doing is pointless. But this is where your focus needs to change from what you can't control to what you can control. You can't control how many people follow you. You can't control what people say about you. You can't control how your team works their business, but you can control showing up every single day. You can control your own mindset, doing your self-development. You can control the value you provide to other people. And as long as you are planting those seeds, your garden will grow. It's those little things that add up to the big things. If you aren't doing the little things, you cannot expect growth. And I found with my customers, I needed to never treat them like a number. I never just make a sale and then ghost and not talk to them again. I've had ongoing conversations with people just about life since I started back in June, who are just now, with having trust and building a relationship with me, are just now deciding to join me 5 months later. So looking back, I realized I planted all those seeds all along in the last 5 months. And with that, and just to wrap it all up, keep your mindset strong, your momentum ramping within your business, and navigate your way through the holidays while keeping your focus on the next person's life that you can change. And you'll be ready to slay the new year in no time. I'll pass it back to you, Liz.
Okay, this was such a great training. I'm so excited about all the wonderful little holiday tidbits and actionable things that this team has given you that you can do. The one thing that's really important is to set your intention. Like Ryan was saying in the beginning, if you don't have the right mindset, none of this is going to make a difference. Like you need to set yourself, because you decide, are the holidays a slow time or are the holidays a growth time? So we just have a few more minutes here. If people would drop your biggest takeaway in the comments right now, and we can all get motivated to make this a growth time in your business. And so one of the ways that you can also lightly introduce people, and also you can find content to post, like Jen was saying, to get a lot of content to post, follow Lavelle on Instagram. So all we want for Christmas is for you to come over and follow us. It's at Lavelle Official on Instagram. You can copy our photos, you can copy our stories, and we're going to do some fun giveaways during the month of December. And that's a great way to like tag somebody who's new, who's maybe not thriving, because who doesn't want something free? And I will say we're going to be giving away lots of product, but also some other things, some other fun things that I think people would want on their Christmas list. So, so anyway, that's kind of a light way also to like introduce people to the product and kind of get them into the sphere of thriving and seeing what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and pick 4 names who are going to win $400 in Thrive credits. So it is noon Eastern time. So it's 11 o'clock Central right now. You have to email calls@lavelle.com in the next 4 minutes. You've got 4 minutes to call. And you have to email us with the email that is on your Lavelle account. So the names are Virginia DeLeon in Texas, Julie Salinan, Julie Salinan in California, Jessica Groth in New York, and Kristen Camella in Florida. So if you're Virginia, Julie, Jessica, or Kristen, you can win $400 in Thrive credits. You just have to email us at calls@lavelle.com from your Lavelle account email in the next 4 minutes. So I'm gonna say bye, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm ready to jingle all the way, and I think that everybody on this call got a lot of great stuff. So thank you so much, and happy holidays. Bye, guys.